That's where we're going. Down to the bottom of that canyon. Well, good morning all. We made it down to the river, and way up there is where we started. We have Mr. Bedrock Bennett and Mr. Todd Topcat over there on the hillside digging some targets. This is a beautiful chunk of river down here. And I've got 2 targets right over here in the gravel. Today I'm going to try to explain a little more on why I'm looking where I'm looking. Okay, we are looking upstream, and you can see right here we have bedrock coming out into the flow, and then you can see the gravel bar that it's created. And all my equipment is sitting on a big boulder. Well, you see where the gravel is piled up there? That's the dividing zone. And I've got 2 targets right in there. It's right up against the bedrock, right on where that gravel's piled. And that pile of gravel tells me that the flow has greatly diminished right there. So let's go see if we can see what the targets are. Okay, I've got 1 target right here. And that target sounds good to me. And that target right there sounds pretty good too, but it's a little wider than the other one. The river we're on has a lot of fine gold in it, so I'm pretty much going to be panning every target today, because no matter what the target is, if it's a metal item, a good chance there can be some flood gold in with it. So let's dig the first one up, see what we got. Now the top stuff, we'll just scoop all it off, because there's not going to be anything in that loose gravel. And then once we get down there, we got a nice little catch back there. Okay, and then we'll pan all this. You can see way back up in there, we got gravel packed. And that'll be where our gold is. Okay, let's see if we got her in the pan. Got our target in the pan. Let's go pan it out, see what we got. Okay, well, our first pan, we got us a nice little picker. And there's some fine gold down in here, but not worth mentioning. But nice little picker there. Let's check the other one, see what we got there. Now, same thing, our target's down in here, but we're going to take all this top stuff and just get rid of it. There's no sense even messing with it. There's no gold in it. And if there is, it'd be just super fine flour gold. Well, we finally made it down to what I'm pretty sure is my target. Right there, you can see there's a hunk of iron laying down in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all this gravel around that hunk of iron and pan it out. We have got us quite a crevice down in here. Now, I haven't got a target after I got the iron out of here, but we're going to pull all this material out of here and pan it. Well, there's our pan of material and our chunk of iron. It looks like it might have been an old crevicing spoon at one time, but it's been in the river for quite a while. Well, that pan, nothing, not so much as a speck. Well, we've done a couple more pans, found a couple small pieces of iron, 1 piece of lead, and then a dozen or so little pieces of gold. Snuffed those up with the snuffer bottle, and I'm thinking, let's head on upstream, see if we can find some more crevices to work. Well, time to get you caught up. It's been quite a while. The area that we were at earlier, we were blocked in by 2 two cliffs. There was no way to go further upstream without swimming. So we hiked all the way back downstream to where we could cross the river, ate lunch, and now we're working our way back upstream on the other side. And we're in a spot right here where we have a lot of nice big boulders in here. Now I wanted to show you why I'm looking here. Now the difference is I look for a spot that looks good for gold, and then I'll go detect in that spot. And that way I don't cover as much ground, but I'm basically cherry picking my spots. I'm picking spots that I think would have gold, and then I metal detect them very carefully. So let me show you why I picked this spot. Okay, now we're looking upstream, and this rock right here, that is bedrock coming out. And you can see in here we got some huge boulders piled up. And they've piled up against this bedrock. Well, the gold can come over this bedrock, drop in behind in here, and get completely out of the flow. And this is the area we're working, is this area right in here, right along the edge of the big boulders, but out of the flow. Right down there by my foot, I got a target. This is what that target sounds like. Well, if I had to guess, I'd call it a piece of iron, but if iron's dropping out, gold could be dropping with it. Okay, I'm gonna dig it up, see what we got. Well, I kind of figured it was iron because it was so loud. Well, found it. A big old bullet. That's why it was so loud. But I got a little bit of gravel in the pan, so we're gonna keep looking around until I get a pan full, then we'll take it down and pan it out. I have several targets in this crevice all along here. You can see all along here we got gravel packed in there. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pull the gravel off the top, and then if there is actually a crevice there, we'll dig that gravel out and we'll just pan it. Once we get it cleaned out, then we'll come back, double check it with the metal detector. Here's hoping. Okay, well, I got that panned out, and we got some gold. Let me show you. A couple of nice pieces there, some little stuff. Down in this hole, I have a signal in there also. So I'm gonna finish cleaning this one out, then we'll go for that one. Well, we got that second one cleaned out, and our target was a piece of gold, and we got quite a bit of fine gold in with it. Let me show you. You can see here we got the one chunker there is our target, and then there was quite a bit of fine gold in there with it. I got a very slight target in this spot here. Very difficult to show it with the sun out, but this is, everything is bedrock, and there's a crevice going across down in there that was packed pretty good, and we had a very slight target in it. So what I'm doing is I'm just digging everything out and then just take it down and pan it, and hopefully we'll find a target. Well, we got her in the pan. Let's see what it is. Well, our target turned out to be a little hunk of lead. There was a few fine pieces of gold in there, but nothing to write home about. Okay, let's keep going. We just finished the last crevice that I had a target in, and we finished on a good note. Got a piece of gold. Let me show you. Not real big, but a nice chunky piece. Well, it's getting on the late side. I don't know how much longer we got, but I got another 10 or 15 feet where I can follow the boulders going right along up in here. And after that, I don't know what we're gonna do. Well, I finished checking that edge along the boulders. Nothing, no targets. So what I think I'm gonna do now, since it's getting late, I'm gonna pack everything up and just slowly start detecting my way back and just take a look at some of the spots I didn't check before, because like I say, today I've been concentrating on, I've been cherry picking what I think is good spots, but now I'm just going to kind of detect on the way out of here. So find anything good, I'll turn the camera back on. If not, I'll either see you back up the Jeep or back at the house. We got Bennett working a crack here. He had quite a few little pieces in his first pan. And he
little pieces of iron in here, so I'm just...
I just got to pan it. And I have no idea where Todd went. Well, Mr. Todd just showed up with a nice piece of gold. Nicest one of the day.
Yes, sir.
Look at that baby.
It's got to be a gram plus.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's all dirty. I think you ought to throw it away.
And it's scratched too. See, I scratched it.
Oh, scratched it. We are up on the hillside. We're probably 40, 50 feet above the river. But they definitely worked this area, and there's a lot of old gravel up here, so I think we're going to stop and detect here for a bit. Back at the house, and you guessed it, it's the next day. Got all that gold cleaned up, so what do you say we take a look, see how we did? Okay, the first thing I want to do is let's see how we did on lead. Well, 66 grams of lead. Let's change that to, that's almost 2 ounces, that's a little over 2 ounces of lead. Not too bad. Now we'll go back to grams. And let's see how we did on gold. 2.25 grams. Well, 4¼ grams, I'm really okay with that. Now the spot, as we were heading out, that had all the tailings on the hillside, did some detecting there, found iron objects and stuff, but no gold. And I'm thinking, well, I'm definitely going to go back down there. Don't know if I'm going to make it before the rain starts or not, but I'm thinking that area, I would really like to do some sniping in there, because there's a lot of bedrock and there's not a whole lot of bank to work, because the canyon's so steep. The river, you know, it drops straight into the water, and to move around easily, you're going to have to be able to swim. I mean, we had to do a lot of hiking to get to one spot, because you work one area, then you got to hike up the hill, back down the hill to get to the next spot. So if you can get in the water, you can cover a lot more ground. Well, that's pretty much all I got on this one. So I got to get out of here. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.